Okay guys, we're going to go ahead and check this review before your test coming. Go ahead and put a check mark if you get them right, put an X if you get them wrong. As we go through the procedures, make sure you understand the procedures for the ones that you got wrong. If there's anything you don't understand after going over all of these problems, please send me an email with a phone number so that we can talk about it. Number one, the architect has plans for a house. 1 inch is equal to 4 feet. So I said 1 inch is to 4 feet. The room is going to be 18 feet. We don't know. We want to know how long it needs to be on the plans. 1 inch is to 4 feet as some number is to the 18 feet. I did my cross multiplying. In the plans, it should be 4.5 inches long. Number two, we need to use our scientific notation. So I did 4 times 10 to the 6th times 3 times 10 to the 6th. 4 times 3 is 12. 10 to the 6th times 10 to the 6th is 10 to the 13th. 12 is not proper. So I changed 12 into 1.2 times 10 to the 1, combined it with my 10 to the 13, or 10 to the 12 rather, and my final answer, 1.2 times 10 to the 13 millimeters squared. Sales tax, $48 times 7.5%. I had to divide by 100, 0.075. When I did my multiplying, I got $3.60. Add that to my $48, total price $51.60. Probability, flipping a coin 4 times of getting heads. I did the probability of each of the flips times each other. 2 to the 4th on the bottom is 1 over 16. 1 to 16 is your probability there. Lateral surface area of this triangular prism. Lateral surface area, we have to consider what the base of the figure is. If I find the perimeter of the base and multiply it times the height, then I will find the lateral surface area. The base of this figure is a triangle. It tells us in the question it's a triangular prism. They're giving us the shape of the base. So I get the perimeter of the base, 3. This is 6, this is 6. 3 and 6 and 6 make 15. The figure goes 8 centimeters back. That gives us our height. 15 times 8, 120 centimeters squared. Number 6 is a probability, a dependent probability problem. We've got 4 red, 3 blue, 2 yellow, 1 green, total of 10. We want to know the probability of getting 2 blue marbles when we don't replace the first one. So when I go to make my first pick, I have 3 out of 10 blues, but I'm not replacing that one. So after that, I only have 10 blues out of 9 marbles. So when I go for my second choice, that's the probability. So probability of the first times the probability of the second, 1 to 15. 1/15. Number 7, volume of a pyramid. You had to go back to our formula for volume of a pyramid. It's 1/3 the area of the base times the height. Remember, of a rectangular prism, it's just area of the base times the height. For pyramids and cones, it's 1/3 of that, okay? And remember, our capital B is area of the base. So I found the area of the base. It's a square. 6 times 6 is 36. Height is 4, it tells us in the instructions. Divide by 3, final answer, 48 feet cubed. Which is the rule for the sequence? The way to figure this one out is to take a 1 for the first term, a 2 for the second term, a 3 for the third term, a 4 for the fourth term, and put them in for n. Okay, so I'll do it on the first one. If it's this one, then I have to use 1 for the first term. 1 plus 5 gives us 6, so it works for that one. For the second term, 2 plus 5 does not give us 11. Okay, let's try this one here. 6 times 1 is 6, minus 1 is 5. That does not give us the value of the first term. Let's try the one that is correct, B. 5 times 1 for the first term, 1 is 5, plus 1 is 6. That's good. For the second term, 5 times 2 is 10, plus 1 is 11. That's good. Third term, 5 times 3 is 15, plus 1 is 16. That works. Fourth term, 5 times 4 is 20, plus 1 is 21. So it is B. Number 9, we want to know which one represents the union of the set of primes and composites. Okay, primes and composites. The answer is D. Cannot be C because 1 is not prime nor composite. Cannot be B because neither 0 nor 1 is prime or composite. And on A, They include 0 and 1. D is the only one that does not include 0 or 1. 0 and 1 are not prime or composite numbers. Number 10. Which x and y pair is a solution to both of these equations? So this is our system of equations where I have two equations and then I graph them, and where their lines cross, that is the value for x and y that is true for both of these. So on the first one, x plus y equals 6. This one is not in slope-intercept form. It's in our form where we just use the x and y intercept. So I said, well, when x is 0, y is 6. And when y is 0, x is 6. And then I graphed those 2 points. 6, 0, 0, 6. For the second equation, I just moved this x over. So I added x to both sides to get it in slope-intercept form. Y equals x plus 2. Okay, you could have done it the intercept way, but I just moved that over real quick and then it was real easy. This is my y-intercept and my slope is 1. So my y-intercept is at 2. The slope is positive 1. I rise 1 and run 1. I drew my line. They cross at 2, 4. So when x is 2 and y is 4, both of the equations are true. Number 11, area of a trapezoid. Base 1 plus base 2 divided by 2 times the height. So we have to average the bases, multiply it times the height. My bases were 22 and 14. Added them up, that gave me 36, divided by 2, multiply by the height, 144 inches square. I had to graph this parallelogram here, so I graphed it here, and they asked for the area. Base times height, 1, 2, 3, 4. Height, I can't use this side. 1, 2, 3. 4 times 3, 12 units squared. If the parallelogram is dilated by a scale factor of 2 from the origin, what are the coordinates of the vertex C? So C is up here at 5, 3. If I'm going to dilate it, I'm going to make it bigger by a factor of 2. Then I multiply the 5 times 2 and the 3 times 2. Okay? So my new point is at 10, 6. 5/9 as a percent and a decimal. Percent, I went ahead and multiplied 5/9 by 100%, and I got 500% over 9. 500% divided by 9, 55 and 5/9%. Decimal to 3, or to round to 3 places, it's going to be 0.5555555, so I have to round to 3 decimal places. I stop here. The next number tells me that this has to bump up. Final answer, 556 thousandths. Okay, expand. 5x times 2x minus 3. 5x times 2x is 10x squared. 5x times negative 3 is negative 15x. The area of this square is 25 square units. Well, it's a square, so I know that I have to find the root of this to get the length of each side, so that meant each side was 5. They want us to find the diagonal. So now, I have to use my Pythagorean theorem. 5 squared plus 5 squared will give me c squared. 25 and 25 is 50. Square root of 50 will give me c. 50 is 25 times 2. 25 is a perfect square, so the root can come out. The final answer, 5 radical 2. Number 17. First step was to subtract 0.05 on both sides. That gave me 0.2x is equal to 0.06. Then I divide both sides by 0.2. Your final answer is 0.3, 3/10. Number 18, I did my cross multiplying. 25 times 0.3 gave me 7.5. That's equal to 1.5 times n. Divide both sides by 1.5, n is equal to 5. Okay, so here's a negative 2 on that exponent, so that pushed my x squared down to the bottom. Y to the third stayed on top, x to the third stayed on top. Anything to the 0 is 1. So I reduced my x squared with my x to the third on the bottom. This was gone. This was gone just except for 1x. So y cubed x is left. 3 radical 5 times 2 radical 10. I did 3 times 2 and I got 6. And then I put them all into the same radical. 5 times 10, and I broke the 10 down into 5 times 2. So here I had 5 times 5, so I can take a 5 out. 5 times 6 is 30. The 2 stays inside. 30 radical 2. Okay. Once again, send me an email if you have any questions about these. Go over these, especially the ones for the procedures where you messed up or made a mistake. And this will help you prepare for your test. Have a great day. Bye, guys.